Hello, can you see me? Is this yeah. Wow, windy today. Well, hi. It's time to start on this Christmas project. So this is just an idea I had and a request from a friend of a friend, actually a friend of my wife's. Not a friend of a friend. That's really bad. My wife. She's also my friend, but she's wife outranks that, I guess. Anyway, so these are the Christmas tags. What I'm going to do is I've got to mill down a lot of wood also for the other project that I'm working on, which you'll see in that project, which is the middle rack. But I need to mill down some wood for that and also for this project. So I still need to do that. However, I've got some pieces that are already milled and I want to see sort of what thickness I should get at. So I'm going to use my favorite machine, which has obviously been working so great for me recently. I say that, it has really. I've had problems with oak, but the other wood seemed to work fine. But I'm going to try and do quite thin stock. I'm aiming for about 3 mils. I'm just going to eye it. I'm not going to actually measure it, but just thin enough because what I'm making is these tags and you don't want them to be bulky, thick tags. So I'm going to just start cutting panels off and see how the different woods, act under that, being that thin, because some wood snap quite easily in that regard, but I'm using mainly hardwood, so it should be fine. So yeah, I'll start off with that and just cut loads of panels. Glorious fun. So, worst part behind us. That's what you think. I now have to sand this lot. I'm gonna quickly sand it first because it's easier to sand when it's this big. And I'm gonna go straight with something like 120, 150. Oh yeah, I also cut this. I mean, look at that. That looks so cool. This is gonna make a really cool tag. Yeah, so I just want to get it rough and then we'll draw on all the different tags, how we want them to be shaped, and then we just cut them out. I can tell you what. I know most woodworkers say this. I'm just going to repeat it again. Sanding is pretty much the worst part. I don't know if it's more orbital sander, but especially like hardwood, it takes forever and a day. And it's not perfect yet. I'm going to definitely have to sand down the. Sorry, I know I'm making a lot of noise. I'm going to definitely have to sand down all the tags afterwards again. But, if it was super easy, everyone would be doing it, right? I'm going to take these up now and draw out where I want to cut them up, and we'll go from there. I've gone and marked all of these up with the different shapes of the labels that I want to use. Sorry if there's an echo, I had to close the garage door, it's just too cold. And I also went and I made different shapes, and you know what, I struggle drawing a star. I just cannot draw a star. I don't know what it is. It's always like wonky and misshaped. And ignore my kids in the background, please. Boys, film me. Anyway, best trick I found is using cookie cutters. I mean, just put the cookie cutter on, trace it. So I'm just gonna try and see if I can cut this with a scroll saw, because if I can, then I don't have to involve the bandsaw, and maybe I can even delegate some of this work. But yeah, super simple so far. Okay, the scroll saw will work, but it's doing straight lines I think is super difficult, especially compared to the bandsaw where it's like the easiest thing in the world. So I think I'll do all the straight lines with the bandsaw first and then go back to the scroll saw for the curvy bits. So I think this is definitely something to teach you some bandsaw skills. I mean, I got super confident at the end there, and for like this kind of cutout, it's great. And I have hundreds of little tags. I'm going to sort them through. Well, sort through them now. Oh, excuse my English. I think I've been living in Spain too long. No, it's just my English is always bad. But oh, kids crying. Anyway. What I was saying is I'm going to sort through them and see which ones still have curved edges and that need to be done. But I mean, look at that. Well, yes, cutting them down and that, but it was like a couple of hours work to get to this point. So I think it's quite a cool little project to do. And next step is learn to use the scroll saw for the fine stuff. I've got loads of shapes still to cut out. So all the ones that I traced from the cookie cutters. So yeah, let me do that. Although tomorrow it's quite late, hence the crying in the background. New cold morning now. It's quite chilly. I had to open the garage door because the echo is just too big. I think it's big enough with the garage door open, but when it's closed, and I just can't combat it. No matter how much I try using software to remove it, doesn't work. Anyway, I'm gonna finish up the last bits on the scroll saw this morning. Hopefully I can get some of that footage. I'll try and get the camera as close as possible without being on the table. Like in the last shot, I noticed the camera was attached to the arm on the bench and the camera just like wobbling. So I'll try and get that as close as possible so you can see a little bit of what's going on there. And thereafter, I will just need to do more sanding, all the edges, make it all smooth, get all the pencil marks out, and also drill all the holes at the end. Which I think I'll do first. I'll do the holes and then I'll do the sanding so I can do it all in one go. Yeah, like I said, simple project, so I'm just gonna get going. Well, my hands are now truly vibrated. it's nearly as bad as sanding. As you can see, the oak ones didn't work that well. So the oak ones, I mean, it's a very hard wood and it kept like bouncing up the piece of wood, even though it's super thin. But that's fine. I sort of rough cut those, and like most of them, I still need to sand around the edges now. So that's what I'll do is I'll shape them, do the final shaping, drill the holes, and then I'll somehow convince my wife to do all the sanding. All right, I wish. She never helps me with this stuff. She just wants. But hey. Anyway, let me get cracking. So there we go. Finally, my hands are like vibrating, like, well, not vibrating, they're like tender. I've got about 30 of these labels. So again, sorry about the echo, it's super early and it's quite cold, so I'll try and fix it and post it. But yes, like I said, I've got about 30 of these tags, not labels, tags, We still need to label them, so put names on, etc. But what I want to do, and what I'll try tonight, and I'll film it a little bit, is use wood burning techniques to, I'm thinking like in these lighter pieces, at the very least, sort of make the edges black and see how that looks. Pretty cool stuff if you ask me. So yeah, I'll try and do the wood burning tonight, and then that'll be pretty much it. Okay, I'm gonna try and do some of this burning with some of these test pieces. I've got this burning device here. It gets hot fairly quickly, so I'm just gonna wait quickly for it to heat up and we'll go from there. Oh, you can't even see it. I wonder if I should move you back a bit. So.
Frame for the other one, the one where I used the 1/2-inch plywood as a backer board, and the more I got to thinking about it, the more I realized that, as I tend to do, I was
Okay, now I think this bit might, I think this bit might be better. It's I think more for drawing and wider strings, but what I want to be able to do is go in and sort of just glide in the corner to see if I can get a nice clean corner on these pieces. Let me quickly try. It's going to take some time to heat up, but I think it might be worth it. This looks okay. It's just a little bit thicker than I wanted. This one looks quite rustic. It's not too bad. And here I think you have like these graying burn marks. I must see if I can sand some of that out, but it's tricky, right? Because when you hit the grain, it like really gets stuck and it starts burning into a section. So we'll see what we can do about that. I mean, this is just the first attempt, but focus, sorry. Here we go. This is a tag for Theo. I mean, the writing, I just winged it, right? I most probably would get a template to fill it out by, so, because the tricky part with this is circles, so I'm gonna try and do it the other way around, but like drawing a circle in this is super hard because it's hard to explain. The element at the front gets stuck in the wood, it burns in and then it's stuck, so it doesn't just easily come out. So drawing circles, it's not like I can't just go, because it doesn't happen, you have to do it really slow. And I don't know if you ever tried drawing a circle really slow with the paper. On a piece of wood, with a pen on a piece of wood. Try it, because you'll actually sort of get stuck. It's like, you know, in the grain. So it's more a case of you need to use a round tip, I think, or do what I'm doing now and rotate the rotate the wood around the tip ever so slowly. You know, I say it's super tough, and then look at. I say it's tough, and then look at that. I'm very happy with that. It's not too bad. I mean, the point is we can use a label printer, and it'll work a million times better. I am going to sacrifice one of my beach ones to see what the edge looks like on this. So while the wood burning was real fun, it was quite tough. So I have like this one worked out really well. But then you can see like I was trying all kinds of things, and then doing round lettering was really, really tough. So I managed to do this one for Theo, that is the square, but I think I'm gonna have to try that on softer wood rather than, this hardwood stuff. I just practice. I've only done it once before, and that was just to play. But I have quite a lot of selection of labels, and I kind of showed this to my mom and said, hey, look what I'm doing. And she actually had the good idea. She's like, oh, wouldn't those make cool key rings? So, taking that thought and the vinyl approach that my wife uses, I actually went along and I created quite a few of these. So, these are like little learning to wood key rings that I'm just gonna, tie some string to it and hand them out to, whenever I give anyone a project, or if anyone wants, send me a message and I can post it out to you if you're within Europe, I guess. Otherwise, send me a posted letter, I guess. But yeah, so I'm actually overall quite happy with these. So I have a lot of tags that I can use for various things. I also did the ones for the stockings for a friend, but my wife had already given them away, so I'll blend in the picture of that. And I think it looks pretty good. It's a very simple project. I know it is a very short video, but I think it's just to show you that, if you have leftovers and cut-offs and that, you can knock out some useful stuff, or at least gifts. I think that's better. Maybe they're not quite as useful as you think, but gifts, or even like these ones that I made, could be ornaments. But yeah, thank you very, very much for watching this. And again, sorry it's so delayed, the video, but I'm trying to get a lot of footage backlog so that I can release videos more regularly next year. And yeah, everyone that's been subscribing and following and commenting and that, thank you so much. It really means a lot. I really enjoy the interaction. I really enjoy doing this. While it's stressful and editing takes forever still, I'm getting there. And it's the viewer count that sort of makes me do it again and again. So thanks for that. And with that, like always, please subscribe and like, and Merry Christmas and great holidays, great break. Have a lovely festive time, no matter what you celebrate. And we'll see, maybe one more video will come out this year. I'll try my best, otherwise it'll be very, very early next year. But yeah, catch y'all later.